Here is a clip from Tommy Robinson, UK government housing radical jihadists on your streets.
The aim of these videos is to radicalize people. It's to brainwash people, to clean their brain of the filth of the kufr.
So, what we have is 5 doors down here. The government have housed one of the country's most extreme radical Muslims.
The act that the homosexuals do, that act is something that Allah curses. And anyone that gets caught doing that act, they will be punished.
And what's the punishment?
Well, one of them is obviously chucking them off high buildings.
He's that extreme and that much of a potential jihadist and terrorist that the government seized his passport to stop him going to fight for ISIS in Syria. Now, they seem more concerned about people in Syria getting hurt than they do about English people. Because if you have a look here, look where they've housed him. That's a primary school. They've housed one of the country's worst and potential jihadists 5 doors from a children's primary school. Now, I don't know how much Theresa May, well, I keep hearing Amber Rudd, you keep saying, we're all going to be all right, everything's going to be all right, get back to normal, life is normal. What do you mean life is normal? There's dead kids in Manchester. You're housing terrorists next to a children's, you're housing terrorist supporters next to a children's school. Not yours children. They don't cross paths with you. You drive around in bulletproof cars, okay? There are children, there are kids, there are families. And you think you can just put them at risk like this. The potential risk, what we find with every terrorist attack, we find that the man that's committed it was known to MI5. They were watching him at some point, just like this man is. This man is one of 3,000 who are monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have another 20,000 would-be jihadists in our country that we simply can't afford to monitor all the time. But this is one of the worst. He has a police guard outside his house. He has cameras, okay? That's only come for the last day because they're aware that I'm trying to track him down. Usually there's no police car there. How easy it would be for him to walk out of there with a knife and target them kids. How easy is that? You think you can stop that? If you're a parent and your children go to this school, how do you feel that the risk that they've been put at? The potential risk that's just there, the potential risk. And to our government, if you're going to continue to think you can hide these men, we're going to find them. We're going to find them because the general public need to be aware of the threat. They need to be aware of the risk. If you've got kids in that school, you deserve to know how extreme that man is at the end of the road. And if we look at how big our problem is, if we have 3,000 Muslims on 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week watch, but up to 20,000 more radicals that we simply don't have the resources to watch, that's up to 23,000, 25,000 people, okay? Even if we wanted to raid them and arrest them and bring them all in, that would take hundreds of thousands of police officers. It would take months and months and months. That's how bad the problem is now. Now. You wouldn't house a paedophile next to a school. Don't house a terrorist supporter. With what we've seen now, with the attacks we've seen, what our government should have been doing, what we should have been hearing from you on our news, is that you're rounding up every ISIS supporter. You're rounding them up and interning them. You're getting them off our streets. Not walking, crossing paths with us. Whose mum wants to queue up and live next door to these men? We have to live next door to them. It's not right. I don't know how much more you think as a government English men are going to tolerate. When their children are being blown up, it sort of steps it up to a next level. At some point in the future, you're going to create a monster. You're going to create a monster because you need to intern these men. You need to take them off our streets. You need to protect our people. You need to protect our children, which you're failing at. You're failing at. And when people can no longer rely on the police, when they can no longer rely on the government or the system, people will endeavour to seek their own justice.
The full video is on Rebel Media. It's on Infowars. Tommy Robinson is on fire. Absolute Veritas. True from the heart. That's teleprompter free. That's strength. That's truth. And that is our salvation. Being honest about the cancer we brought into our midst.
It's Paul Joseph Watson, and the t-shirt has finally arrived. Nothing triggers safe space snowflakes more than this slogan and my face. It is the new t-shirt from InfoWarsStore.com. Conservatism is the new counterculture. You've seen how much this triggers the safe space snowflakes. The left controls culture, they control arts, they control entertainment. They have the complete monopoly on culture, which is why conservatism is the new counterculture. We are striking back in the culture war. This triggers snowflakes like nothing you've ever seen in your life. You've seen how much they absolutely hate the image of my face and that particular slogan, conservatism is the new counterculture. This t-shirt is not only a conversation starter, it will trigger the holy hell out of leftists. It will make me incredibly happy. It's available right now. Get yours at InfowarsStore.com.